2007 Suburban 1500 4x4. The driver's side motor mount separated. Jacked it up on jack stands. I've got a jack underneath with 3 2x4s supporting the back side of the oil pan where the web is strongest on the oil pan assembly. Just about where it joins the transmission bell housing. At that point I can jack it up just a couple of inches to gain access to the left side motor mount, where you can see I've got the 3 chassis bolts removed already. So as I jack this up, you'll see it moving. And that's probably as far as I'll need to go to get this motor mount loose and removed from the engine. From the top side, you can see how loose the motor mount is, where it's separated. I don't have the bolts out that connect it to the side of the engine block. Those are next. This motor mount should be able to be removed without removing the front differential assembly and only removing the exhaust shield, heat shield, and hopefully nothing else. You do want to be careful where you jack the oil pan or make contact with the oil pan underneath. It can possibly bend the oil pan and come in contact with the oil sump screen inside and affect your oil pickup. So you want to take extra care where you're jacking this engine up for a left side engine mount replacement. Ideally, it should be done with an engine hoist or a screw jack mounted up to a special tab that's cast onto the engine block where it can be jacked up with the screw jack. But this is your home remedy. I'm going to try removing the 4 bolts that mount to the engine block using standard 15mm socket and long handled ratchet to see if I can get access just underneath that heat shield there to the 4 bolts. Getting the 2 top bolts out that mount to the engine block was actually fairly easy, using a 4-inch extension and a shallow 15mm socket and a ratchet. These are torqued only about 35 pounds, 32 to 35 pounds, so they should be pretty easy to run out of the block. The bottom 2 bolts, I'm going to use a 3-inch extension and a shallow socket, possibly a swivel socket. For the bottom rear bolt of the mount, where it connects to the engine block, I decided to use a 36-inch extension that I have with a swivel socket on the end through the wheel well area to the side of the engine block. This provides more straight-on access. If you have a long extension like this is probably the best way to go for the rear bolt, if you can see that. It provides pretty good access. Now, without removing anything else, in order to get this pretty large motor mount out of the vehicle, I opted to flip the motor mount around where I could gain access to the back side of it and take these 2 nuts off, which will separate that bracket and heat shield assembly from the mount itself and allow everything to come out without having to take anything else apart to gain clearance for the whole assembly to come out in one piece. So that's what I'm going to do here. I've got 1 screw loosened already, or one nut rather, and I'm going to get the other one out. Like so, which allows me to get this assembly out piece by piece without removing any other components. Makes it a little bit simpler overall to do this job. And as you can see, the motor mount has got some pretty serious separation at the rubber here, right here. So not good. It pretty well failed completely, as you can see. Pretty sucky. Take that off. But it failed on both sides. And that's what allows all the movement in the engine, moving up and down with engine torque. And you have this fail-safe cross pin here that keeps it from separating completely coming apart. So there you go. And right there's your new aftermarket. I'm not putting an original GM mount on them. I'm putting a lifetime warranty aftermarket one on. We'll see how it works out. And so there's the original GM mount, split on both sides, and the new mount. And installation is just reverse order of what we just accomplished. Thanks for watching.